Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the HP Studio Podcast with Tim and Kristen. In this episode, we're going to talk about social media trends, and the different types of ways that one can curate content so it can appeal more to the consumer and help you gain followers and get your message and your brand out there the way you want to. Thanks as always for listening to the HP Studio Podcast with Tim and Kristen. We hope you enjoy.
No, thank you. Yeah, and so, okay, that makes sense then. That makes sense. So you would still be able to fulfill that desire of the multitude of tasks based on that one linear goal.
Exactly.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. That's what happens when you understand everything about it, because nothing's linear if you're trying to get something done, because there's always moving variables, always. So you have to understand what variables are necessary and which ones to cut out. Because I don't need to use that microphone because there's only two of us. So I muted that one. It doesn't even operate right now. It's not necessary. All right.
Okay. Tim.
Yes, ma'am.
Social media seems to drain my tank. It is not good for me.
You don't use it.
I know. That's why I don't use it.
Oh, okay. There you go. You understood. Like, I don't need this.
Well, I'd love to say I don't need this, but I don't think that's accurate anymore.
Yeah.
When you're out there and you are a speaker, or you are a podcaster, or you are a radio show host, I believe that social media is also part of that equation.
It is.
And it really should be. Okay. Then there's this part about me that it's I don't enjoy it. And I think it's the technology side of things that probably stops me from wanting to be, because I can be out there. I love talking in front of people.
You do a great job.
You know, I love sharing parts of myself with people that they could relate to or glean something from, or, you know, we're all healing each other out there. And then there's this platform that is just widely accepted and widely used and necessary at this point in history, and I don't like it. So then there are professionals out there like you that say, all right, I understand it, I like it, I got you.
Yeah.
Okay. I understand that technology is changing.
Oh, buddy.
Because there are so many people out there that are opposite of me, and they love posting, and they want to share so many things, and they want to just put content out there because that's what we were told.
Yeah.
What's going on? Because that's not the case anymore.
No, it's not.
What's happening? What's changing?
I know some people call it white noise, but it depends on what you like. I mean, there's some podcasters out there. I'm not gonna drop any names, but there's some podcasters out there that do 5 days a week, and they have millions of people who subscribe to their stuff because they're genuine people that people like to listen to, and they bring on folks that they enjoy listening to. But in terms of what you're asking, what's going on, it's my understanding, and this is coming from other professionals in the social media world. Content is more important than it has ever been. That's why posting content just to be posting it is not a good way to go.
Okay, so let me go back. Content is more important. So what you're saying is quality content.
There you go.
So it's not just volume of content anymore, because that's what we originally heard was that, hey, you got to be out there visible every day. And that's what people need to see so they don't forget about you. And so what you're saying is that's just completely saturated now?
Yeah.
There's so many people that are just throwing random content out that it's being ignored.
Yeah.
And so what is it? What do people want?
People want engaging content that's really eye catching. But the audio needs to be really, really good. Right? Let's YouTube, for example. A lot of people not only get their news from YouTube, but they get a lot of their entertainment from YouTube. Whether it's sports, whether it's advice on finance, whether it's whatever. YouTube is the platform when it comes to that. A lot of times people will listen to a podcast on YouTube, not a podcast platform.
Okay.
Right? So I have I have a YouTube subscription. So what that allows you to do is put in your earphones, turn on the podcast, put the phone down. Now you listen to it, like no commercials, no nothing. You listen to a straight podcast, hour and a half, right?
Or in our case, 6 minutes.
Or for now.
I like our short podcasts. I think they're very doable.
They are. But so
you put all your recordings on a YouTube channel too?
Yeah. We have the HP Studio podcast on YouTube, by the way. But I haven't put a lot of stuff on there. We're still on Podbean primarily, but as we grow, a lot more of our content will be on YouTube for that very reason. YouTube is the platform right now.
Is it?
Yeah. And another thing about podcasting on YouTube, a lot of the production is a lot better than it was 5 years ago. So people are hiring, graphic designers and things of that nature to really make it pop. The thumbnails on YouTube, that's the still picture that you'll see whenever you go to YouTube and you click the link or whatever. That still shot, that's a thumbnail. People are really getting good at that. It's really popping. If you have Adobe Suite, Illustrator or Photoshop, you can really manipulate that and make it really pop. Of course, I have the whole Adobe Suite, so we can do that too. But what's happening basically is that people are really engaged with quality content, and they can care less if it's there every day if it doesn't appeal to them, right? So the audio needs to be perfect in my view. It needs to be perfect. The thumbnail needs to be beautiful, and the video production needs to be somewhat good, right? If you put that three together, you're going to have a really good following. You're probably going to get a lot of subscribers eventually, but you have to be consistent.
When if you were somebody that was just starting, and I mean, to me, again, it seems like a labyrinth. I have no idea where I would even begin with any of this, but where would you have somebody start?
Depends what they want to do.
They want to start a podcast. All
right. So if you want to start a podcast, just to start a podcast for yourself based on what you love, you don't need a whole setup like this. They have TikTok Shop before TikTok goes away. They have lapel microphones. I think I have some in my bag actually, just in case this didn't work out. Lapel microphone, smartphone camera, and topic guide that you want to touch on. That's all you need. The HB Studio Podcast is brought to you by the historic Roy Hill in Clemens, North Carolina. The opinions and thoughts presented on this podcast are that of Kristen, Tim, and their guests alone. Our goal is to bring positive motivation through real-life experiences and training as business professionals. Thank you for listening.